Hello and welcome to today's video. My name is Felix Quinkwa. I'm the head of AI at Maekersuite, and we spent the last few months developing the Video Content Explorer, which is a tool that allows you to understand what your audience is interested in, what types of videos you may upload, and it will give you suggestions on how to best grow your YouTube channel. The way that this tool works is that you'll first have to log into your Maekersuite account, which should lead you to a screen that looks somewhat like what you can see here. And then you can click on this Start Exploration button. Upon hitting that button, it will prompt you to enter a couple of keywords that relate to the topic that you'd like to produce videos about. So in my case, let's say I'm a hobby photographer and I'd like to do some camera reviews and maybe a little bit of educational content about how to improve at photography. In that case, keywords that might be relevant for me would be camera reviews, how to get better at photography, and let's say best beginner camera. Now, once I've entered those keywords, all nicely separated with a comma, I can then start my exploration. So what's going to happen now is that the exploration process will launch. It will give you an estimated time until when it's complete. So in this case, it will take about 4 minutes. Usually you can expect a range between 1 and 10 minutes. And as part of this exploration, we will be analyzing up to 8,000 relevant YouTube videos and then pick the 200 to 400 best ones that are closest to your topic and make most sense for you to look at, which we will then show to you once the exploration is complete. So I'm gonna wait until this finishes and I will see you back again then. All right, welcome back. So our exploration has just finished and we can see that based on the status indicating that it is completed. And we can now just press the View Report button to actually see what it's done. So we're going to skip ahead to the research overview for now. And we can see that in total, we've suggested 390 relevant videos. This is out of about 8,000 videos that we've analyzed. And we've sorted those 390 videos in 17 relevant topics. And overall, 181 channels have created those 390 videos. In total, all those videos have about 130 million views. So those are just some general stats to understand what exactly we've done, how large your data size is, and yeah, what to expect from the rest. Now, let's move on to the actual interesting part, which is this bubble chart over here. This bubble chart shows you all of the topics that we found based on 2 different metrics. The first metric is on the y-axis, the relevance score. The relevance score just shows you how relevant the videos within a topic are to the keyword that you've entered. So in this case, the cluster best cameras for photo and video in 2023 is a cluster that's really relevant to the keywords, namely camera reviews, best photography cameras, and also how to get better at photography, but probably mostly about the first 2. On the other end, we have videos that are less relevant, like for instance, the Sony A7RV camera reviews. Those focus only on a specific brand of camera. They aren't very general, so they don't really match your quite generic keywords that we've entered up here. Now, the second metric that we use is the quality score. The quality score indicates how likely we think you are to succeed if you were to upload to one of the clusters. So something where it's very, very hard to succeed is Leica camera talks. This could have many reasons. Probably it's because the audience of people who are interested in Leica is rather small. It's a specific camera brand and also not a massive one. It's not like Sony or Canon or so. And there's also a very high chance that there's probably only very few channels that talk about Leica. So people might be used to watching those and might be less receptive to new content. On the other end of the spectrum, we have camera recommendations. Those are just general recommendations about cameras, and you can talk about any brand. You can make it about budget cameras and super expensive cameras, and there's a lot more room for freedom. And generally, people seem to be engaging much more with those videos. It's likely because they hit a much wider audience, and also there's probably a lot more channels within that cluster that are producing videos, so people might be more open to new content, or they might even be finding the content via the YouTube search function rather than by subscribing to a channel. In general, the way that you want to look at this chart is that everything in the top right corner is something that is of particular interest to you. So if it's got a good quality score and good relevance, which is this top right corner up here, that's something that you will want to produce content about. Something that's in the bottom left corner, that's something that you'll want to avoid because you're not very likely to succeed with what you're doing, and it's got pretty bad metrics. But let's say, for the sake of examples here, we're just interested in producing something that's very relevant. We don't care so much about the performance, and we're going to click on best cameras for photo and video in 2023. That's then going to lead us to the cluster, to the topic overview, where we see a couple of general metrics about the videos within the cluster, like, for instance, the commonly used tags, engagement, how many videos and channels there are, and then you also get a list with all of the videos. Now, this is where it gets really interesting because now we move into the individual video analysis section. So let's say this Best Beginner Camera 2023, what you need to know video seems like something that could be something that you'd produce as well, or you'd produce something similar, and you think it would be interesting to understand what exactly this video is doing. You can then just click this little arrow over here, and that's going to get you into the video specific overview. What you'll see here is the performance score. This indicates how well the video is doing once we adjust for metrics like the channel size, the date of upload. So of course, a bigger channel, we expect a bigger video. So if a small channel does particularly well, it'll get a higher performance score. We then also see the sentiment. This is based on the speech within the video. So if the YouTuber is talking very positively, it will be more green, and if they're very negative, it'll be more red. And well, orange just means it's neutral. In general, in reviews, the vast majority is just kind of going over camera specs and some of the tech, which is generally quite neutral. And then we've got a couple of positive recommendations, which are responsible for the green part. You then also get this watch intensity graph. This one's really undervalued often, because what it shows you is what part of the video exactly is the audience interested in. Because what we can see here, for example, is that those parts here at the end where the graph is rather low, it's not really something that people are interested in. But this part over here, where there's fairly high values, that's what people actually come here for. And looking at the timestamps over here, we can see that probably this is the recommendations on budget spend and maybe a little bit the types of camera. So that shows you what is the thing that people really want to see. And of course, if you then create a video, that's exactly the thing that you want to talk about. So you want to avoid those that are lower and go for the topics that are a bit higher up here. Then down here, we've got the description that the YouTuber added to their video. So that comes, again, straight from YouTube, so it's the same data you'd see there. Then we also create a summary. This is based on what's been said during the video and just gives you information about what the video is about at a really quick glance. So you don't have to watch the whole thing. You can just read the summary and you'll get most of the relevant information. As a somewhat more detailed overview, you also get the outline. So this shows you a lot about how the video is structured. So you can see they start with an introduction where they first introduce the problem. You're overwhelmed. You don't know how to choose. Then they go into price ranges, which of course is one of the first things that people think about, and then go more and more into depth until they go to very detailed features of the cameras. So here you can look at a couple of different videos, and I recommend doing that for 5 or 10 videos that are similar to what you'd like to produce, and really try to understand what the structure is that they follow and take that information to then produce the best video you can. Now, the next thing is commonly used words in the video. That allows you to just see the topics immediately at a quick glance. And it also gives you recommendations for what you could use as a YouTube tag, because very often something like tagging your video with mirrorless and DSLR can be really useful in helping YouTube understand what you're talking about in the video without them having to do the analysis themselves. So it can sometimes help you grow your audience a little bit faster and make sure that it gets recommended to the right people. We then have the transcript. This is just everything that's being said throughout the whole video with timestamps. So if you'd like to analyze a section in detail, you can just copy and paste it, rewrite it, change things, and then just understand what exactly is being talked about. Finally, we got the YouTube tags. Those are the tags that the creator has added themselves to the video. So in this case, those are just the default tags. So it's just what YouTube adds to every single video. When you produce video, you of course want to add tags yourself that help YouTube understand what the video is about. So in this case, that's not really best practice what they've done here. Now, finally, we got the related video section. This is about videos that YouTube believes people would like to watch next or would also be interested in. So if we look at what YouTube shows you up here, once you stop the video, truth about, let's see here, the truth about switching to mirrorless cameras, you can see that what we believe people are likely to watch very well matches up with what YouTube believes you will watch next. So yeah, it just allows you to understand what people are co-watching and kind of understanding what other videos or what other topics you might want to already talk about a little bit. Right, so that's it about an individual video. And now we get to the really fun part, which is you've done all your analysis, you've seen the topics, you've looked at a couple of videos, you now have an idea of what's out there, but now of course you need to come up with what you actually want to produce. And of course you could spend hours brainstorming, coming up with titles, but you could also just scroll up a bit to those top 5 video ideas. Say you want to make a video about the best cameras for photo and video in 2023, just click on that cluster and it's going to come up with 5 different suggestions. So you can go through those, see whether you like the results or not. And if you like one of them, you can click on this Create Project button. Create Project button takes you to what we call the project briefing page, where you can, well, you already get the video title, tone, video length, and target audience pre-filled. And you'll have to add some information about your own channel, as well as the goal for your project. So, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to just grow your audience? Do you try to sell something or get leads for your business or so? From here, you'll then be able to generate a whole script, which we've covered in another video that you should find linked down below in the description. Now, finally, what I would generally recommend once you've done an exploration is that you look at this global category. The global category gives you all of the best recommendations that we really think are the top 5 videos that you should make to expand your audience, to grow your channel, and that really help you create content. And with those 5 videos, you can just again click on Create Project to create them. You can also click on Regenerate Ideas, which will generate 5 new ideas. Let's say you've already made them, or for some reason you're not happy with them. You can then just hit that button and it's going to come up with new ones for you based on all of those videos that we've analyzed. So I hope this has helped you understand how the Video Content Explorer is useful in helping you understand content that's out there, take it into actionable steps for content that you can produce, and how you can then connect it to your script writing process, which again, you'll find a video down below that explains how you can get the whole script generated on Maekersuite. But yes, I'll see you in one of the other videos. Thanks so much for watching and talk to you soon. Bye bye.